The night sky in Beijing looked ordinary, but not to YiZhan fans who witnessed an emotional surprise that night that they never imagined would actually happen. Behind the scenes of the grand annual charity concert broadcast live, Wang Yibo stood on stage, staring into the crowd, then paused, just as Xiao Zhan's name appeared on the big screen behind him. A silence hung in the air, as if the universe itself had held its breath. No one had anticipated that moment would bear witness to a confession that had long existed only in the fandom's imagination. With a slightly trembling voice, yet full of conviction, Yibo said, "There's someone who's always been the reason I smile, even when the world feels heavy." The camera zoomed in on his face, revealing eyes that were honest and sincere. He knows who he is. And today, I just want him to know that I've never seen all of this as just ordinary friendship. Cheers mixed with tears echoed from the crowd of fans below the stage. Many couldn't believe what they had just heard. Was this truly a declaration of love? Had the veil that had long shrouded their relationship finally been lifted? A few hours earlier, Backstage felt more tense than usual. Xiao Zhan, who was supposed to perform in the next segment, looked nervous. He kept glancing at the monitor screen showing Yibo's performance. His eyes were teary. He knew exactly where those words were coming from. He knew that those words weren't just for the show, but for him. And for the first time in a long time, a genuine smile slowly appeared on his face. Flashbacks to their past played in the minds of the fans. From the laughter-filled days of filming, the untamed, and the silent glances, to the small moments captured on camera, like when Yibo unconsciously stared at Xiao Zhan longer than necessary, or when they exchanged compliments that sounded ordinary but held hidden meanings. All of it now felt like puzzle pieces slowly coming together. It didn't take long before social media was flooded with video clips, fan theories, and emotional interpretations of every word Yibo had spoken. "He said it. He finally said it," wrote one fan in a tweet that had been shared over 100,000 times. On video platforms, fans compiled reactions from around the world. Tears of joy, hugs, and even small prayers flooded the screen. Meanwhile, in the dressing room, Xiao Zhan finally stood up, took a deep breath, and walked toward the stage. His steps were steady, but his eyes betrayed the turmoil of emotions he couldn't hide. When he finally stood under the spotlight, there was only one thing he did. He looked straight at the spot where Yibo had been standing earlier. Words sometimes aren't enough, but today I just want to say, I hear you and I understand. The room fell silent for a moment before erupting into prolonged applause and sobs from the audience. There was no explicit confession, no hugs or kisses like in a romantic drama. But in their gaze, everyone knew it was more than enough. It was real. After the event, reporters tried to chase after them, but their managers kept them at a distance. Still, in the back hallway of the concert hall, a staff member accidentally snapped a photo of the two standing very close, gazing at each other in silence. The image became a new symbol of the love that had never been spoken. What was most surprising was when Yibo posted a photo to his personal account that night. Not a concert photo, not a selfie, but a photo of hands, two hands, gripping each other tightly. Below it, just one word, "Finally." Fans cried, not out of hysteria, but because the long-held hope that felt like a dream had finally become reality. The YiZhan fandom, which had always stood between the boundaries of reality and fantasy, now felt validated. They weren't crazy. They weren't over the top. They just believed. In an interview a few days later, Xiao Zhan was asked about the photo. He merely smiled faintly and said, "Some things don't need explanation. Those who understand will know." And with that, all theories, all hopes, all doubts seem to find their place. This isn't just about two idols who care for each other. It's about the courage to be honest, about love that endures in silence, about a connection stronger than any label. For many fans, this is a lesson that love, no matter how hidden, will find its way to shine. A few days after that confession night, a short video began circulating from an anonymous account claiming to be a former crew member from the filming of The Untamed. The video featured never-before-released behind-the-scenes footage. There was a moment where Yibo quietly watched Xiao Zhan from a distance as he laughed with the other crew members, then quickly looked away when their eyes met. Look how he's staring at him, the video's caption read. It's not just a coworker. It didn't take long for the video to go viral. In the comments section, fans poured out their emotions. Some wrote that they had been waiting for years for this kind of love to be acknowledged. Others said that the YiZhan story gave them the strength to fight for their own love, whatever form it may take. However, as usual, not everyone responded with love. Some began to question Yibo's motives. Some called it a career strategy, while others accused the agency of orchestrating everything. But the answer came in the most unexpected way, from Xiao Zhan himself. In a personal blog post, he wrote, "Nothing can be scripted when the heart is involved. The world may doubt, but I know what I feel." The post was met with a storm of support. Many fans felt that this wasn't just about YiZhan's love, but also about the courage to defy public expectations and the entertainment industry's pressure that leaves no room for sincerity. In a world filled with pretense, these two men chose to be honest. Soon after, the two were seen together at the airport, without masks, without hats, without any effort to hide. Xiao Zhan walked beside Yibo, smiling, occasionally glancing back and laughing softly. As if they knew all eyes were on them, but they no longer cared. The freedom they gained from honesty felt far more important than fame. On the same night, the YiZhan fanbase held a massive live stream, celebrating what they called the Day of Love's Victory. On the screen, fans from around the world took turns appearing, reading their letters to Yibo and Xiao Zhan. Many were crying, not out of sadness, but because they finally felt loved again by the two people they had supported unconditionally all along. And perhaps that was the essence of it all. Love wasn't just theirs, Yibo and Xiao Zhan's. But it also belongs to all the hearts that believe that genuine feelings, even when hidden, never truly die. They simply wait for the right time. And now, that time has come. Since that night, the dynamics between them have changed in the public eye. There is no longer any artificial distance, no more ordinary friends, spoken with fake smiles. They appear together in a more open, honest, and human way. They don't say, "We're together," but they also don't deny anything. They let the world see and judge for itself. And in every more sincere smile, in every warmer gaze, fans know that love is real and has been there all along, waiting for the right time. Now, every time their names are mentioned together, it doesn't just spark speculation, it also brings hope. Hope that love, no matter how strange its path, is always worth fighting for. And that night on stage, Wang Yibo chose to fight for his love, in front of the entire world.